This morning, what we are going to attempt to do, and it's something I have never done before, I am going to attempt to use this contouring and highlighting kit, which I got from E.L.F, and I am going to attempt to follow some basic directions here and see if it makes me look any better than I did before I started. So, I need to have some light on me there. I'm going to use my 8x magnifying makeup mirror to help me see what I'm doing. And I put on basic, just foundation, nothing, moisturizer and foundation, because I run a daycare and I had one kid come today even though I'm supposed to be closed, and I didn't want to scare the daddy at the door. So I'm going to use my old makeup brushes, which are not expensive. They didn't cost any more than the ones that I got from E.L.F. That's not it. These are the ones from E.L.F. Basically the same thing. The E.L.F. is a little bit bigger. Because I have not used these creams before. They aren't loosened up, and my brush is loosened up because it's old. So I'm going to start with highlighters, since I'm a painter, so I like to start with light and go to dark, which makes sense to me. So I have two here that I think could be highlighters. This one's really light, and this one's a little light. So I'm thinking I'm gonna try this one first and see how it goes. So according to this, to draw light and illuminate the center of the face, I want to go across here. Well, that doesn't really show up. It's the same as my face, so I'm going to go with the light one. Maybe it's not going to show up a whole lot at all. So I'm just highlighting the center of my face. And then it comes around here. I'll do it equally on both sides. And under here, be very careful under the eyes. That skin is so delicate. They go down. I guess what we're doing is highlighting the shape of the face. We're going to put a dab on the chin, which is supposed to make the chin look smaller. We're going to go around the side of the nose. Under the nose. And that is it for highlighter, according to this diagram. I look directly under the really bright light, I can see it just a little bit. Then we're going to do the contour, which I believe I'm going to need the darkest color. Let's start with the medium color first, though. I'm a big believer in better safe than sorry. Of course, I can always wash all this off and start all over again. But it's rounding here. I'm just doing a round. It's funny, this is what it looks like when I mess up my makeup, but I'm doing it on purpose. Then a little bit here, a little bit here. Now this is interesting. They have it coming down here to the side of the eyebrow. But the really interesting part to me is that they want me to come from my eyebrow down the side of my nose. And my eyebrows are so light that this is definitely going to show up. So that is a brown line from the eyebrow down the side of the nose. Now that down the side of the nose is to make the nose look thinner, which I'm all for. And then in the area just under the cheekbone, that is to give your face a more hollowed out look and make the cheekbones more prominent. I have pretty prominent cheekbones already. And then we're going to go right along here, which this is where they're showing it on the picture, but it's also where I am starting to have a jowly effect. My face shape originally was oval, and now I'm not sure what it is. So we've got that there. Then to downsize the appearance of the larger chin, you do the white dot in the middle. To hide the appearance of a double chin, they have us going under here and then down in lines. I'm going to be careful with that because I have this white sweater on. Probably not a really good day for brown stripes going down my neck. But I'm going to give it a shot and see what it looks like, and I'm going to use a darker color. So I was doing lines with the darker color, lines down this way, and I did the darker color under here because this is probably my biggest face issue. Unlike any other woman, as soon as I figure out how to solve one problem, I've already discovered another one I need to work on. So I've got I've got the dark color across here. I've got a little dash here and a little dash here. I've got it from the eyebrow going down the nose, from the eyebrow going down the nose. Got it under the cheekbones. Then I came under here to try to disguise the double chin. And I've got the lines going down here, being careful not to touch my white sweater. Highlighter. I still need to put highlighter down the center of my nose. And I'm just going to go back and put a little more across the middle because I'm not really seeing that. And I'm going to put some more around the eye area. And one thing, I have moisturizer on, and it tends to soak up the makeup. Just putting a little highlighter. Like I said, I've never done this before, so I very well may be doing it wrong. We're going to find out. So that is that. A little more on the side of the nose over here. Okay, so nobody told me, but I'm assuming that the next step would be to go over this with foundation because you don't want stripes all over your face. And I'm going to use the same brush because it's just going to blend in, I hope. And then up here I'm just going to blend this in some. Of course my hair is going to be down, so that's not going to show up so much anyway. I'm going to leave this because I'm going to come back in with blush. And then on my neck, I'm going to want to blend this in some. I don't want brown stripes down my neck. Now keep in mind, I started out with a good dosing of moisturizer before I did any of this. Don't want to completely cover it because that defeats the purpose of doing it. Now, I'm a firm believer in letting things settle, and like most women, I'm a multitasker. So it's not like I'm just going to sit here and wait for my makeup to settle. While I'm waiting for that step, I'm going to go do something else, because we always have many, many, many things we need to do. So I'm going to let all that settle, and then I'm going to come back and do blush and eyebrows and lips and all that good stuff. So I think that has settled enough for us to go to the next step, which is going to be blush. See if I can easily locate my blush. I have so many little cases here from E.L.F. Okay, here is my blush. And I already put the little bit of dark contour here, so I'm not going to use the bronzer. Although, you know what? I actually prefer bronzer instead of blush sometimes. And I'm wearing white, and where I'm going today is to sit in a hospital room while my husband has a procedure at the hospital. And I wore this blush when I did the first makeover with E.L.F. and it's very, very bright. And I'm thinking that today, since we're all about contouring and highlighting, I'm going to use a bronzer instead of the blush. And I'm going to use it where the blush would normally go. So, that would be on my cheekbone. And you want to blend it a little bit. And then I'm just going to put a little dab here, a little dab here, and a little dab on my eyelids. Now, the places where I did the little dabs aren't going to show up very much. I don't really want them to. I just want them to kind of pull my face together and make me look healthy. I am healthy, more or less. Then, the next most important thing that I've just started learning how to do is eyebrows, and I'm not good at it at all. I have teeny tiny, almost non-existent eyebrows. I don't really like the look of drawing eyebrows on, but if I want to have eyebrows, that's the only way I can do it. I have heard that they can dye your eyebrows, but just getting my nails done every 3 weeks or so is about all the high maintenance I can handle. I do color my hair to keep the brightness in it. I have probably 10 gray hairs. My grandmother was the same way. She had blonde hair, and when she died, she still looked totally like a blonde because the few gray hairs she had looked like highlights. But I do color my hair, but only about every 6 months. And I use a really cheap, less than $5 hair color, golden blonde. I always wanted ash blonde, but my hair doesn't want to be that way. When I first got into real estate in 1987, I wanted to look older. Can you imagine? And I wanted ash blonde hair, the kind of grayish blonde. And so I went to a professional hairdresser to have my hair colored. I went back to him probably 6 times, and he never got the ash blonde color to take on my hair. The last attempt he made was to dye my hair black and then take it down. He must not have had very much experience. It ended up being forest green, and all my hair broke off. So after that, I decided that I was definitely going to be a do-it-yourself kind of girl, because I can screw my own hair up for a lot less money. I am just following the natural shape of my eyebrows, which is kind of hard to follow because, like I said, they're so light and so thin. I'm trying to make them come farther over this way because they actually stop there, and I want them to stop here. There are a few little hairs in there to give me a guideline. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to accentuate what I already have. I'm a firm believer in God doesn't make mistakes. And whatever God gave you, if we can embellish it a little, fine. But don't try to change who you are and what you look like, because it's all good. So, you probably can't see them very well, and that's a good thing, because if my eyebrows really stood out, then they would look ridiculous, because they don't. Then the next thing I'm going to do, if that was a pencil, I'm going to take the brow powder and gel. The powder is so light, I think it's almost lighter than my natural brows. But I'm going to do a little powder. And then the gel. The one good thing about having light colored eyebrows is if you mess up, people won't notice as easily, say if they were black. Okay, so I think that's enough eyebrows to get me through the day. Could use a little more of a tail on this side. I've already got a tiny bit of mascara on. And I'm going to stop, because this is just a really basic, no eyeshadow. You know, I can't really go out in public with 0 eyeshadow, so I'm going to give myself a little dot in the corner of my eye, because I always do. Just a little dot, so you can see that my eyes do have a beginning. I actually don't have lipstick on either. So, this is about as natural as I'm going to get with all that highlighting and contouring. This is natural. But we'll see if I look any different. I'll take a picture and see if I can tell any difference. Thanks.